Hi, this is Julianne with Life Edit Design, and welcome to today's tutorial. Today I'm going to be just showing you another way to use a synced block. So normally I use sync blocks right up here, which is just kind of my navigation. It's more of a static thing, and I never really used it in a more dynamic way. And so I wanted to show you just kind of how I just started using it. And this is a great way to deal with tasks, subtasks, and projects. And I found that I felt like my projects were a bit disconnected from my tasks because I don't like to use the a bunch of subtasks and I don't like filling up my calendar with a bunch of tasks that are related to one project. I just like to have the one project kind of move through. So what I did here, and I started using the sync block, which I really liked. So this is the project. This is my business, right? Making Notion databases. And I have some data. I have some different things up here, and this is just some old stuff that's kind of laying around. But then I was outlining my quarter and what I was going to be doing for the quarter and kind of what my major projects were. So here I was laying out my quarter and I have all this great detail, and I was like, oh, now it's disconnected because these aren't tasks in my task manager. They're not up here, and I don't really want them to be up here. So I use a block system for my planning, and we'll look at that in just a second. So I know every day I have a Notion work block. Monday through Friday, there's that block. It's first thing in the morning, and I know that I want to be working on my business. So what I decided to do was create a synced block. So you could see this kind of red border shows you that it's a synced block. And so I copied all of this information. That was what I need to do for this month. So this is everything in preparation for December's newsletter. This is all the content I need to create in November. And so I made a sync block by just copying it. And then I went back to my work block. Here's my November work block. I'm sorry, my Notion work block. Opened it up and I just pasted that. So I just hit the paste button and in dropped the things that I need to do this month. And so when I click this, so I just recorded this video, so when I click this, it will update it back at the project level, will be updated as well as here at my task level. So now my project is in sync with my task without me having to do all these confusing tables or anything like that, and I don't have to create a ton of tasks. I have one task, it's called the Notion work block, and again I use that block system. So here's the first block of the day, so I have different things I do at different blocks, and so block 1 is always that work block. So here's block 1, I'm working on my Notion business, and then instead of having to go back and forth between this project level here, I can just go and now have that synced block. And I love that. It's just so quick and easy. And so I know any changes, any notes I hear will filter back to the project level and go back and forth. And as I check things off, I can make sure that my project is up to date. And if there's things I don't want at the project level, any notes, anything like that, I can just make sure I type them outside of the synced block. So I could still use this Notion work block for any kind of random thoughts, anything I want to just jot down, but it doesn't have to go to the project level. Only anything I put inside this red block will go back to the project level. So I just thought it was another way of doing tasks and subtasks related to a specific project so that I can keep checking things off. And if I delete them, again, it'll delete from the project level, but it keeps things very neat and clean and very in syncs, because I was really getting lost between having some data over here and really good important data here in my work block, my task block, that wasn't getting back to the project. So now they're in sync. So just want to share that idea. Hope that helps you come up with ways of using synced blocks in your own database and makes that simpler. I hate the complex tables of having things related to first do this task, then do that task. I can work completely out of order here. It doesn't matter. So there's no dates built in. I know I'm going to have this work block. Each day I just move the work block to the next day, so everything just moves along with me. It's always there, but I can work in any order, so I don't have the restrictions of having this highly complex first task, then next task like system. I know August Bradley has that kind of set up where one task precedes the next task, like a parent-child task, or first, then this, what's next task. I hate that, getting locked into that. So I can change things around. I can change the order. I can click on things and move them around this way, or I can just do them completely out of order, which I like. So I want freedom. And Notion is, to me, is all about freedom of having to be able to do things your way and whatever makes sense. So if I feel like doing something out of order, or I just feel like working on this project right now and not this project, all of that is doable within here because I can just see what I have to do in general, and I know I have to do it by this date. So by the time of this December newsletter goes out, all of these need to be checked. So I hope that helps you. I hope that inspires you to come up with your own way to use the sync block. I'll see you next time.